There, YouTube. I want to give a quick review on my Trekboxx Alpha system. David, who owns Trekboxx, made me this system about a year ago. So I've had this Trekboxx for about a year in the FJ Cruiser, and I want to go through it with you just to show you what it's like in the vehicle. We've used it, 24 times at least over the course of the last year. We predominantly overland, so we don't do any major rock crawling or anything like that. I've set up the FJ for overlanding. We do 50% on tar roads and another 50% on gravel and dirt tracks, mostly moderate type stuff, and we do a lot of trips in Oregon and here in Utah. So I'm going to go through the Trekboxx with you, show you that system. I will say on my two previous overlanding vehicles that I had in South Africa, I had a Defender, Land Rover Defender 110, and a Ford Ranger pickup truck. On the Land Rover I had ARB drawers and they work great, never had a problem with them. In the Ford Ranger pickup, I had a similar setup, also a South African company. The ARB is Australian, and the South African company Front Runner did some stuff for me in the Ford Ranger. Both work great, but both you can't compare them to the Trekboxx. The Trekboxx is really a step above. Obviously the price point of the Trekboxx is quite a bit higher than the ARB or the Front Runner systems, but the Trekboxx, at least up until now, a year later, has been absolutely flawless and faultless. It's incredibly strong, incredibly well made, and over engineered. So let me take you through it, and okay, let me take you through the system. So I will say that the system is quite heavy. I don't know exactly how heavy it is, but it was probably about 350 pounds maybe, or 300 pounds. It took my wife and I a little bit of effort to put it in, but it fits really, really nicely, super snug. It really does look factory, which is very, very impressive. I'm going to take you through a couple of cool little features. There's a little hinge over here to allow you to get through into the side, and it's soft closing, which is nice, which allows me to get to this part of the vehicle here where I keep my pump for my wheels. Once again, soft closing, really over engineered. It doesn't need to be soft closing like that, but it is, and it's great. There's a shelf on the top here. There's a cargo barrier, which I really enjoy. So we just put our chairs and that kind of stuff up here, and if anything goes sliding forward, if you brake really, really hard, that's not gonna take your head off. The materials are very, very well put together. They are really tough. It has this coating on it. Not sure exactly what the coating's called. You can ask David or check out the website, but it hasn't scratched, it hasn't faulted in any way, so really well made there. This is a Zulu drawer, so the system comes sort of with the bottom drawer, the fridge slide, and then this top panel over here with the cargo barrier. But David added in this extra Zulu drawer, which I really enjoy. Eventually we'll put a couple of little tie down points here so we can have some boxes strap onto this part of the drawer, but for now it works pretty well. The handles are probably one of the things I love about the way David's put these boxes in. First of all, they're angled. I know it's a little thing, but it's so ergonomic. My fingers fit in perfectly. And then this little tab works incredibly well. I will say that I'm not sure what sort of hinges David uses, but these hinges are just crazy strong. Again, complete overkill. I'm pretty sure they're industrial, but another reason why these Trekboxxes are just so damn good. They lock into place very well. Slides and closes with ease. There's the bottom one, just got all kinds of stuff packed in there, but again, just closes very nicely. At the moment I've got a cooler box in here because we don't really use the fridge that much on the weekends, but if you ever need to put in a proper fridge, you can. And David allows you can move this platform up or down depending on how big your fridge is. He also supplies these tie downs so that your cooler, your fridge doesn't go anywhere. I could realistically, and I will, slide this forward to allow me to store water or something like that on the back here, just to utilize this space a little bit better. Probably one of my favorite features of the Trekboxx is the kitchen that pops out. So now you can kind of get a much better view of the fridge slide, plus this sort of kitchen counter. This then pops out. I'll show you that again. So David, again, ingenious little industrial hinges to pop out that sort of kitchen. And then, I've got our stove over here and some paper towels and stuff like that in the bottom. Once again, closes very well. You can feel this thing is ridiculously solid. One other thing that David did for us that was really nice is, because it's just my wife and I, we don't need the rear seat. So what David did is he put this panel together for us. So when we're traveling, I can put dog beds on here, and the dogs can then sleep on the back here while we're traveling. And there's also space underneath for us to store some goodies. And then if we need to, if I have any valuables that I want to tuck away, these all got locks and everything that come with it. I can just hide some stuff under there, or just a couple of little extra storage compartments. And then from the inside looking back, tons of space. Again, this is a great spot to put some cargo boxes. A couple of those front runner boxes would fit really nicely up here, or something like that. Again, the cargo barrier, just to prevent anything from spilling over if you hit the brakes really hard. Just incredibly well put together, over engineered in every way, incredibly well thought out, very tough, easy to put together as well. So thank you, David. Thank you, Trekboxx. This is definitely the best system I've had in my overlanding hobby thus far. Highly recommend the Trekboxx unit. And if you guys have any questions or anything for me, just reach out and let me know.